few days ago, someone saw 7 bears on this trail, but we did not see any
Jamin,
wildlife.
Houghton, you did not tell me this. We made it to the Great Smoky Mountains. The Great Smoky Mountains. Smoky versus Rocky Mountains. I interchange them, but they're so different.
We are staying in Cosby, which is just outside Gatlinburg, and we made it in from Nashville without any problems.
Except for...
Well, once we got to the RV park, we plugged in and the electrical box caught on fire.
No, it didn't catch on fire. That's a little dramatic. He's not usually this dramatic. I noticed that it was smoking, and I was like, wait a second, that smoke, electricity, it's no-go.
There's an old saying, I feel like, where there's smoke, there's something else. Fire.
It's so cute. That's a good one. That's true.
Hillary saw it, thankfully, and we shut it off, and they had us hook our electric up to a different site. So hopefully that all works out without us having to move, but we'll see.
We love our site. We can literally open up all the windows and we basically just see tons of trees, and especially the back window in the bedroom area. It's just like all trees, and you can hear a river flowing pretty like heavy and loud, and so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to sleep last night with the window open, just listening to the river.
Yeah, and supposedly there is a bear that has been wandering around the campground, and he is not afraid of humans.
You know, they're campground with the bears, so you have to pick your trash up. There's a bear.
Literally, that's what they said.
All campgrounds tell you that there are bears there so that you keep your site clean.
Good idea, actually.
I think at the RV owner convention, that's what they do. They're like, hey, Fred, like, got any tips? And he's like, yeah, just tell them there's bears. They keep everything. They go to bed early. Like, tell them that a bear got mad at some loud music and broke in and abducted a family. And they'll just be like, oh, yeah, we won't play music anymore. The bears.
I just think that's a really funny theory, but it, like, could be true.
We've stayed, like, 10 places that have said, like, there's a bear. You're going to see a bear for sure. No bears.
No bears. Won't take me by surprise. Jamin asked me if I would like to walk in front. I don't ever hear about bears coming up from behind. You're always walking up on them. I thought that was really generous of him.
We just did the hike to Rainbow Falls. It's very green. It's uphill 2.7 miles and then back downhill, so downhill wasn't too bad. We got here early, about 7:15, and so the sun was just coming up. We only ran into a couple people, but on the way down, we've run into a lot of people coming up. On All Trails a few days ago, someone saw 7 bears on this trail, but we did not see any wildlife.
Houghton, you did not tell me this.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that to Hillary before we hiked the trail.
Oh my
But I
gosh.
didn't want to worry her, but we didn't get to see any bears, so hopefully we will.
What do you think, guys? I think I could pull it off. I would just do it. I would just do it. I wouldn't think about it. I would just do it.
So we We've been shopping around Gatlinburg after a hike this morning. Decided we need some lunch. This is Jose's Cantina because Mexican.
Any cantina is a good cantina for us.
She's singing to that butterfly named Jolene.
Tonight we feast on real eggs. These are my niece Everly's, and she's been selling them because they have chickens, and so they had eggs, and she's been selling them, and it's a business now. I got 2 dozen eggs while we were in Colorado with her, and I'm so glad that we did. We're about to have breakfast for dinner.
So we drove up to the Clingman's Dome overlook. There's like a half-mile hike up to an overlook where you get to see out over the mountains. As you can see behind me, I don't think there's going to be much of a view today because of the fog and clouds that rolled in. So rather than do the half-mile hike to see what we can see here, we'll just look at the trees that are visible 15 yards away and drive back down to our next hike.
When I was a little girl, I would really geek out about these right here, like the roots on the ground, the tree roots, because to me it just felt like you were going upstairs, and then all of a sudden I was like living in my own little house, but it was actually a very big house with lots of layers and lots of levels, so I would get really excited about this. The living room is here. Here's like the balcony. Here's the kitchen. This is my bedroom. This is the attic. And then of course another terrace balcony at the very top.
I'm trying to get Hillary to go in this cave to explore. She won't do it. I don't know why. I would go, but I don't think I'll fit. Hillary's slighter, and so I think she would. We'll never know what's in there.
Why don't you
Maybe fictitious bears in there.
Maybe
Making
you should
porridge.
Take your camera out and let's see if Jamin is brave enough to film in there, because I'm not. Oh boy.
It's a bear making porridge.
We like spotted this orange fungus of some sort. Kind of looks like mushrooms growing on the side of a tree. Bright orange, like neon orange. I cannot believe this. I am gonna have to ask my mom what this is, because my mom loves vegetation and she will figure it out.
Fun fact about the Great Smoky Mountains, it is actually the salamander capital of the world. We found a dead salamander on the trail yesterday, so that's a little sad, but hopefully we see a live salamander and get to take some footage of it. And maybe they're real, unlike bears. Don't fall, it'll get too many views.
It's always a little bit more fun if you jump at the end. That's right, that's how you do it.
The waterfalls and the rocks in the river on this trail are really incredible. They look like something out of the lobby of a casino or something like that. It looks fake, just like nothing that we've ever seen before. A person in a very, very convincing bear suit just ran across the trail in front of us. It looked exactly like a real bear in every way. I'm still not convinced that bears are real. Probably 15 to 20 yards in front of us, it just ran across the trail and ran into the woods. We didn't see it until it came into the trail, and then it was gone pretty quickly after that. Hillary's a little nervous right now. It was really cool to see something that was well done enough to look exactly like a black bear. Hillary lost her train of thought, and I'm not sure that she'll be able to mentally recover for a little bit.
I'm keeping an eye on the trail just to make sure nothing pops back out at us while we talk. It was like, fortunately, I was talking about a great Don Knotts movie that I want to watch again called Private Eyes, but I'm telling Jamin these stories. You see this bear just run across. I will say it was the most beautiful thing. It looked absolutely perfect. Not huge, but big. Its ears were like just these little ears that like were super light pink and pure, almost like just this pure color on the inside. I could see the inside of its ears. That's how close we are. That's kind of like hitting me just now. It was scared of us, fortunately. Now someone else is coming down the trail and I'm gonna be like, stop! It's not safe!
Oh my gosh.
Shut up. It's a horrible person.
No sudden movements or the shakiest gun in the West is gonna bear spray something. So we did get to see a salamander. He was really little and right next to some leaves, so you could kind of barely see him. But we got to see one here in the salamander capital of the world, the Great Smoky Mountains.
All right. Mm-hmm. Ay, ay, ay. Oh. It is so humid here. I'm not sweating, you're sweating. So it got really quiet.
Like bear attack quiet?
But you can hear everything now. And for the longest time, we were by the river. And then all of a sudden, it was like the river was gone. The river noise was just gone. And now we're just like in this incredibly peaceful, really small trail. It's totally different from the beginning.
Okay, so we are on the Little River Cumberland Gap Loop. So that takes the Little River Trail, not to be confused with the Little River Band, to the Cumberland Gap Trail. And then you take the Cumberland Gap Trail back around. It makes a loop. It's about 5.5 miles. First part is along the river, pretty flat. So far, the Cumberland Gap has been uphill and very humid. So both very wet, but in different ways. So we're closing out the loop and we're on the Jakes Creek Trail, and there's a lot of old remnants of where cabins used to be. A lot of times it's just a chimney. This was actually built into the side of the hill, sort of a rock home, but they're kind of scattered all over the place, just in the woods. So as you hike along, you just look out and you see something that looks a little strange, and it turns out to be an old cabin.
One thing that really stood out to me when I was reading about the Rocky Mountain National Park, this is not the Rocky Mountain National Park, this is the Smoky Mountain. There were hundreds of families that were displaced whenever they turned this into a national park. And so I think about that a lot when you think about just this land and that people had their homes here and they came from here. On the fire. That this house creeps me out, and he did that to me. A lot of these homes are actually built on piers. They're movable homes, and their original use was to be mobile homes that could be used by people that work in the timber industry. So they would come here, live in the homes temporarily, or the houses would be moved where they were needed, I guess. Probably. It's so little.
There's this creepy little room in this cabin, and it comes around a corner and then goes way, way back. So come check it out.
My gosh. What kind of room did you say this was?
Oh, it's a murder room.
It's a murder room. Those houses were like a fun little surprise. Like, neither one of us knew
Yeah,
we were gonna come upon a village.
yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And Hillary got a couple fun surprises while we were touring the houses too.
It's time for another episode of What's in the Bag. Dad got a patch because that is the thing we do at national parks, is he always gets a patch. He got a pen that has a bear on it. Yesterday, Mom got a shirt. I saved the best for last. Bear in the back seat. Basically, it is stories from a park ranger here in the Great Smoky Mountains, including things like, you know, whenever wild black bears are sedated and they wake up unexpectedly in the backseat of a helicopter mid-flight. It's bug season. Oh, there's lots of little buggies. What? It's bug season, y'all. We are about to try our cider that we got from the Tennessee Cider Company. Jamin got the candy kind. The green apple kind.
What did you get? Yours is a candy.
And I got the strawberry kind, which looks a little bit more like actual cider, like a ale.